Hello, it's Ben from Alternate Experiences here. So I want to give you some tips on how to make your content more engaging at events. So particularly thinking of conferences, say you're a speaker, or maybe you're the organizer of it and you want to find ways to make all of the content just a bit more engaging for your audience. Now, we look through the lens of games, of course, thinking about how we can use games to make the content more engaging, but the tips and tricks should apply more broadly to anything that you're using. So first thing to think about is, how do you sweat the assets you already have? How do you make the most of the existing assets that you're using? So what I mean by this is, say, for example, you're giving a talk and you're using slides as part of that. One of the key things you want to consider using then to make it more engaging is the slides itself, rather than introducing lots of other technology. So you might, in a games context, create a spot the difference game within some of those slides at certain points, or a quiz or something like that. But you're using the slides first and foremost because people are already engaging with them. They're already familiar with them. So you're not trying to overcomplicate it. Next thing you want to think about is, how do you ensure that what you're doing complements the content and doesn't overtake it? So you want that activity, you want that game, whatever it is, to enhance that content. You don't want it to completely overawe it, because otherwise it will take away from the actual content messaging that you're trying to enhance in the first place. So just think about that when you're designing something. Next thing you want to think about is, do you need like a moderator role or something like that? Now, when we run some of our games, we have a moderator where their job is to effectively scorekeep, ensure everything goes smoothly, and basically ensure that the host or the facilitator or the actor, they can just focus on that and nothing else. So it depends what you're doing, but think about if you need that kind of moderator role in any shape or form. Next thing to consider is, do you want to extend your red carpet for this, as we call it? So what we mean by that is, do you want to start the experience of this activity before the actual event? And do you want to roll it out a bit afterwards? So if you're using a game, for example, to enhance that engagement, maybe the game starts beforehand. Maybe you start teasing it before the actual event. And maybe there's little activities as part of it after the event as well. So do you want to extend that red carpet? Final thing you want to think about is there a social element to how you're enhancing it? When people play games in particular, they love to compare progress, talk to each other. So how can you facilitate that social element? Again, going back to that spot the difference game, you want to create those moments afterwards where people say, oh, did you get that one? Oh, I thought it was that. Oh, did you think it was that? You want to create that social buzz as part of it. Works really well to enhance that engagement and get other people thinking about your content as well as part of that event. So those are some of the tips that I would give you to think about when improving engagement with your content, particularly through games.